squeeze some bags.
Let's do. What do you say?
Yeah.
Windy in this part of the country. You guys hop into the bus.
There you go.
Oh, that's nice. Gave you all that.
The time Jana's mother had to stay in the hospital for so long, the time she went to live with Grandma and Grandpa for a while, that was a time when many things were a whole lot different than they had been.
And lunch was a double tricker sandwich with...
A double tricker sandwich?
I had to take it apart.
Did you have dessert?
Yeah.
Oh, look. Look at the horses again.
Oh, look at the new baby horse.
It's a foal, Jana. Baby horses are called a foal.
That's right.
What do they call when they're bigger?
Well, it's
Just horses. Just horses.
stallions and mares.
Well, I guess that's true.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful day.
Where are all the houses? Where do all the people live?
This is the country, you know. We do have neighbors, but they're probably 3 or 4 miles away.
For one thing,
So you can hike that.
Jana lived on a farm for the
Enjoy
first
being out in
time.
the country.
And for another, she found out that some of the things she thought were so were not necessarily so.
Ride a horse.
I guess you're
But that's getting ahead of this story. It began the very first morning. Grandma and Grandpa were too busy to go around waking up sleepyheads. She had to take care of herself. Of course, she'd been doing that. Sort of, ever since her mother got so sick. She wasn't a baby anymore. Still, it was different, having her own alarm. At home, only Daddy had an alarm clock.
Morning, Grandma.
Still, some of the big surprises were yet to come.
Why don't you just hop around and take a chair over there, and we're going to have breakfast in just a minute.
Morning, Jana.
You mean you cook breakfast?
Have to. Self-defense. She's a terrible cook. Besides, she has to go to work before I do. This morning, I have a special reason. I'm trying to keep her happy so she'll finish my income tax. Now, do you want coffee or not?
Grandpa, you know I don't drink coffee.
Oh, well, but your beer isn't cold yet.
Well, Henry.
Darling.
Bye-bye.
3 mornings a week, Grandma went off to her part-time job as a bookkeeper in town. And Jana and Grandpa shared the kind of work Jana used to share with her mother.
Straight you put them in, okay?
Even when Grandma was home, she would rather be out in the fresh air, and sometimes left the housework for Grandpa or Jana.
Hey, neat, Janet. You act like you've done that before. Have you? Mm-hmm. Good for you. My gosh. I wish it'd rain.
Grandma, can I cut a bouquet?
That's a good idea. You just get one. We'll have one at our supper. Okay?
Okay.
More surprising than the fact that Grandma went out to work while Grandpa stayed home. After all, his work was here where they lived. More surprising was the fact that Grandpa was what you might call the cuddlier one.
Ow.
I'm sorry.
Grandma would say, "Oh, that's too bad," when you hurt yourself. Grandpa acted more like she remembered her mother acting.
Is that okay? Look at the cows. See, they're looking at us. So what kind of creatures are those?
And it was Grandpa who had all the pets.
Come on, Dizzy.
Atta girl, call them in.
Fish that would come when he called them to dinner.
Come on. Come on, Lucky.
A donkey that would answer when he called.
Come on, Lucky.
And many other interesting animals.
Bog.
seemed as if Grandpa couldn't have enough little ones around him.
Here she comes.
Hi there.
Hi.
How's everything been? Got everything under control? Great.
What's that?
Well, that's chicken food and duck food, and that's catfish food there.
Fish food, duck food, chicken feed. Not one of them brings in anything. Except, of course, the chickens. We do get our eggs.
Well, now, Jody, you know I don't expect the animals to pay their keep or make enough raising corn. Having them around just reminds me of when I was a kid, when a farm had to have birds and stock because going to the store for eggs and milk and meat simply was out of the question.
Well, but you know, we're spending more for their keep than we are for our very own. Should have been there when I paid the bill. Oh, paycheck. It's really true.
No.
The pets Jana liked best were the ones she knew even before they were hatched.
She'll lay about
Biddy's chicks.
30 eggs. And in 21 days, they'll hatch, and she'll have a brood of chickens. Jana! Come quickly. Here, you want to hold one? Careful now. Careful.
Ouch, he bit me.
How do you know it's a he?
You mean girls are black?
Well, I just mean that it's hard to tell males from females on baby chicks, especially after they're just hatched.
Well, it doesn't make any difference.
Well, sooner or later it will.
Is he getting ready to fly?
I doubt it. But you're right about one thing. It is a he.
How can you tell?
Well, you see, his comb is beginning to grow, and he acts feistier than the pullets. Yeah, he's a rooster, all right.
Is that what you call girl chickens and boy chickens, pullets and roosters?
Yeah, it is when they're young. After they get a little older, it's hens and roosters.
Why do they have different names for little girl chickens and big girl chickens, and if the boys are always called roosters?
Well, that's a good question. Maybe it's because of the way people think about roosters. They only have one use for them, so they only get one name. Now, your girl chickens, they are tender to eat when they're pullets, and they lay eggs when they're hens. 2 uses, 2 names.
Does that mean girls are better than boys?
Now, that's not what I said. I said it was maybe how people think about chickens that makes one sex rate something that the other doesn't. Could we change the subject?
Sure. Why doesn't chicken feed taste like fish feed?
I give up. You've been eating that stuff.
I just wondered if it tasted different, because it sure looks the same.
Well, it's about time for the news.
It's getting chilly, too.
Grandpa? You said roosters were only good for one thing.
Yes, Henry. What thing is that?
Well, I meant for frying.
Grandpa, you couldn't.
Well, not me, maybe. But you gotta watch your grandma there. You see, she believes that if a chicken doesn't give you eggs for breakfast, it might as well give you drumsticks for supper.
I couldn't eat Scratchy.
She's your granddaughter, all right. Names for chickens. Don't you worry, honey. Scratchy, as you call him, won't be frying size for a while yet. Besides, the coyotes may get him first. We haven't eaten a chicken raised on this place, and I can't remember when. Come on, partner. Let's go inside. I'll be there in a minute. Atta girl.
Helping Scratchy stay out of the clutches of the coyote became one of Jana's jobs, one she took on herself. She couldn't let him go to sleep outside, where he and the other chickens seemed to want to roost. He had to be in the chicken house, shut up tight. Yes, there he is. There's Scratchy, safe with all the rest.
What's that?
That's your rooster. Should have called him Squeaky. He'll do a lot more squeaking than scratching around here for a living.
But what's he squawking about?
Crowing. If you want to call that a crow. He's crowing to let the whole world know he's grown up. Soon gonna be cock of the walk. #1 chicken. He can't even lay an egg.
I'm gonna go tell Grandpa that Scratchy can crow.
Of course, you realize this makes him frying size. Your grandma may just decide he belongs in the frying pan.
Can't we do something? Can't we change your mind?
We'll see. about keeping
They did figure out something.
No.
And in Scratchy's case, it worked.
Out of the frying pan.
Always keep him out of the frying pan.
Get his eggs daily.
Get his eggs. That's going to be a tough one, but we'll write it down. Get his eggs daily. Well, you going to bring it up, or do you want me to?
Family conference.
Uh-oh. Sounds to me like somebody thinks I've been unfair.
Well, not yet, but we don't want you to be. Now, we want to set up a house rule, like we've always done it. We'll talk things over, and then we'll take a vote.
Okay. Whatever it is, sounds to me like it's going to be 2 against 1. Well, Jana, why don't you tell me the new rule? Your grandfather and I pretty well had everything hashed out before you came along. Okay?
You do it.
Okay. Well, let me see here. Whereas, you see, this is going to be an official rule.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, through no fault of his own, Scratchy the rooster was born male. Hadn't we better change that to read hatched?
Why not?
Was hatched. Whereas, Scratchy the rooster, through no fault of his own, was hatched male. And whereas this blameless condition places his life in jeopardy.
That means he'll be in the frying pan. Grandpa said so.
Right. And whereas this blameless condition places his life in jeopardy and threatens to deprive him of his basic right to scratch out a living in his own way, therefore, be it enacted that said Scratchy be declared an honorary hen.
Next.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye. You 2 characters and crowing hen. What'll you come up with next?
And that's how it came to be that never, for the rest of his life, was Scratchy ever in jeopardy just because of the way he was hatched. But it turned out that it wasn't quite true that a rooster is only good for one thing. He was better than any alarm clock. He got everybody up early every day, and he never would have had a chance to be so useful under the old rules.
Dr. Metzenbaum is satisfied with her progress.
Even after they got the letter that Jana's mother was as good as new again, even when she was on her way back home where the man worked away from home and the woman worked at home, even then, there were little surprises.
And did you pack your peacock feathers?
I'm gonna miss you.
You're gonna miss us. Well, we're gonna miss you too, baby.
Okay, cut the mush.
Okay. Okay, cut the mush. Why don't you sit on my lap? Maybe we can sing a song.
There's no law that says that grandpas can't feel mushy sometimes, or that grandmas won't crack jokes to keep from crying. And even if there were such a law, would it make any difference?
E-I-E-I-O.
Wasn't Scratchy the same as he'd always been, even though the rule was changed? Doesn't changing the rules sometimes just help us change the way we think about things? What do you think?
Hold on, we skipped one.
What'd we skip?
Chicky.
What? Oh, and a chick here, and a chick there. Here, chick, there, chick, everywhere, chick. MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. And on this farm he had a
cow.
cows, E-I-E-I-O.